I got a pony out back in the barn. She's the only one left on the farm. I'm just killing time on this porch of mine, working on my southern charm. Well, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing, a little dip with my shine, there's no closing time around here. Well, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. I may talk a little slow, but I know how to grow a big beard. Wine with Will.
Hey, whiners. It's Will. We're back from West Tennessee. Today I want to talk to those who may live in a city, may live in, a rural town, but right in the middle of town, down from a school, down from the courthouse, wherever. Folks who drive cars that want to live like they're in the country. Everybody thinks you've got to have this, giant property, fenced-in backyard, a couple 100 acres of pasture, big old trucks, big old trailers, all this equipment. But you don't. When we moved back to Huntington, I decided I wanted a little farm. I tried to do the white collar thing. I was a salesman for a pretty big company that involved killing bugs and stuff. Tried to get pet raccoons from them. Didn't ever work. Technically, it's illegal. But one day I stopped by a little place here in town and was trying to sell them some of our services. And I mentioned a goat, and I don't remember why I did. The lady behind the counter said, "I've got goats." I said, "Do you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I want to buy one." She said, "Okay, come on out." All right. I walked back outside to this, 20 late model Ford Focus company car. And I never thought anything about it. I was like, I'll just clear out the back seat. Well, I show up at her house, and she said, "Where's your truck?" "At the house." "Okay." She said, "You can put the goat in the trunk?" I said, "No." She could ride in the back. I thought ahead, and I asked my boss, called him, and I said, "Hey," I'm not going to say his name. I said, "I've got a question. What is the company policy for hauling livestock in a company vehicle?" He said, "Are you in a truck?" I said, "No, I'm in the Focus." And there's a long pause from a man who could have easily fired me right then. He said, "Will, I want to tell you no, and I want to ask more questions." He said, "But I'm afraid if this goes to like a review board and HR that I need to just not be privy to any of this information." And I said, "Okay." He said, "But I have to ask off the record, what are you hauling in the car?" And I said, "Man, I'll send you a picture." He said, "Just nothing big." So I get this 1.5-year-old goat. Her name was Baby Nix. Walked her out on a leash. She wasn't real happy, but she got up in the car. And I take a selfie. No company name, because I'm smarter than that sometimes. I take a selfie with this goat who is gnawing on the seat and eating at the seat belt. Goats don't like to be buckled in. They don't fit in car seats. They're kind of awkward to carry in the back of a car, but you could do it. I sent him a selfie. The fastest this man has ever responded back to any employee ever. And immediately I get a call. "What is that?" He said, "It's kind of like a dog." He said, "But it's not a dog, is it?" I said, "No, it's a goat." He said, "Don't have a goat in the company car." I was like, "Well, I didn't want to go back and get my truck. It's work hours." He's like, "Why are you going to pick up goats during work hours?" I said, "I took my lunch break. I was trying to make a sale. She made the sale. He said, well, did you sell them, did you sell the business anything? I said, no. No, I kind of forgot about that one. She said she had goats, and this one was it was a perfect goat. She didn't really make a big mess. If you've ever seen goat poop, I mean, it's kind of easy to clean up. You just open the door and dump it out. But I vacuumed it kind of I didn't vacuum it at all. I just swiped it out of the car. But we got the goat home, got her put up and everything, and after that, I was banned from carrying livestock in the vehicle. Just fine. So a couple weeks later, now I knew what that little car was capable of. Not just a gas saver, but it's a straight up herd hauler. This guy, he's around Savannah, Tennessee. If you don't know where that is, it was about hour and a half from where we were. And my pickup gets about 10 miles a gallon. Not driving that far. But the Focus got 40. And I may or may not have had a gas card that I reimbursed the company for the fuel that I used. Anyhow, he had chickens. Chickens don't count as livestock. Before anybody even gets that thought, I was still following direction that was given to me. Was no livestock in the car. I went out there to get one rooster. I ended up buying 2 cages because I got about 18 birds. Now, if you have chickens, if you've been around chickens, you may not see the fact that they poop all the time. I didn't think about it. I put like a couple of pieces of paper underneath one of the cages because I thought, that'll catch it. It won't. That thing looked like a just melted chocolate all in the back seat of the car. But anyway, I get down there. I'm talking to this guy. He watches sometimes. But I kept seeing all these pretty birds. I was like, I want some of those. I think I want a couple of those too. And by the time we had it all, it was all the cash I had on me, and I bought the birds. He said, how are you getting them home? You coming back? I said, no. He said, well, you can't haul them in that car. Cages won't fit. So we'll make them fit. We couldn't make it fit at first. So we're trying to get this cage in the back seat of the car, and we start having to hammer out a corner. So the cage ended up looking like this weird, I don't know shapes, a triangle, like a weird triangle with some flat sides and stuff. And as it turned out, we could get its fit, but we could also ruin a $150 cage. So we did, and without running the risk of being too disgusting, the chickens, if you've ever seen The Exorcist, when she just projectile vomits, they can do that with their butts. It doesn't really smell at first, you don't really think about it. So I got everything home, made the trek back, put them in the coop, whole 9 yards. And my thought process was, it's wet. Once it dries, I could just scrape it off. Well, I couldn't. I could scrape some of it off, but when my boss got in my car one sales weekend, I'm going to paraphrase, why the hell does your car smell like this? So what are you talking about? I guess I've gone nose blind to it. He said, it smells like a barn. I said, oh. He says, is that from that damn goat? No. Are you lying? No, I promise that smell is not from the goat. And he turns around and he starts moving stuff around. He said, who pooped in the back seat? I said, it wasn't me. That wasn't the correct response. He knew it wasn't me. My poop doesn't look like that. But anyway, he asked who was going to clean the car, and I was like, I got it. But I didn't, because about 3 weeks later, I just kind of stopped going to work. We had a disagreement, yada, yada. They didn't like that I was hauling animals in the car. Even though, we hauled raccoons and stuff in the cars. I feel like chickens are cleaner than raccoons, maybe something. Chickens don't eat trash, usually. But anyway, I got terminated kind of quickly after that. Still had the car, still used it to haul some livestock here and there. But I want to point out, when I got the car, the guy that had it before me, I sound a little mad, and I was. One thing I don't like is stuff off of people's bodies. I just think it's gross. I don't want your snot, your spit, nothing. I'm not going to say this guy's name, but he's a salesman that had the car before me. He bit his nails, clipped his toenails. Cool. Everybody does. Not everybody does it in a company car and leaves them in the floorboard. If you've ever had a splinter or something, imagine that. My phone fell between the seat and the door. I go to grab it, and I got what I thought was a splinter or a spider bite or something underneath one of my nails. When I pulled my finger up, it was a nail, a fingernail, that this fat, nasty dude had literally just left. So I got a fingernail splinter under my face. It's like fingernailception. Like, it was just all going together. And I immediately stopped the car. I pulled over. I stopped the car at a gas station. I was like, I got to vacuum this thing. Couldn't find a vacuum there. So I ended up at a pretty nice car wash. And I started vacuuming. And if any of you have ever tried, let me know how to do it. Besides tweezers, you can't vacuum up fingernails. Once it's in the carpet, it's just there for life. So I was given a gross car. I mean, at the very least, I probably could have shampooed the seats or something. But I mean, Febreze and stuff, it kind of fixes it. But if you chew your fingernails, throw them out the damn window. Don't throw them in the floorboard or in the cup holder, ashtray. If your fingernails grow that fast, I think you've got a problem. I don't know, but if you have big old chunky big toenails in a car, man, I hate you. Fact. And he knows who I'm talking about. If he ever watches this, I want him to know, like, yeah, I'm telling your story. And if people ask me who it is, I'll tell them straight off the jump. But anyway, I don't want anybody to be discouraged. If you want a little farm, you know, if your town ordinance or whatever says you can't have chickens in town, get quieter chickens. I don't know, something. Don't let the man tell you can't have chickens. Eggs are delicious. Goats are awesome. They're not quiet. And they break stuff. Like everything. All of it. But they'll eat anything you give them. Well, that's not really true. Don't give them metal and stuff. Don't give them corn. It'll hurt their tummies. But, you know, unless you're like in an apartment, in which case you can have chicks. When I lived in Nashville for a little while, my buddy Booger and I, we got some chicks. They lived in our bathroom in the apartment until they got too loud. And we took them to his dad's house here in West Tennessee. And they made it 2 days before a fox got them. So those chicks were actually safer in my apartment in Nashville than they were, you know, on a farm. So don't let anybody tell you can't do something. You can do anything once. You know, just get your story straight before it happens. If you got a car, go get you a goat. Rabbits are cool too. I hadn't hauled rabbits in a car yet, I don't think. We'll see. If you need any advice on how to fit goats or chickens or anything like that in your mom's Ford Focus or your dad's Mercedes or whatever it is, I don't know how bougie y'all are, but if you got anything fancy and you want to run it, run it. If you need any advice, come find us. I'm trying to think if I have anything else on that. Well, I think that's it. So anyway, small time farming, whatever. If you need any advice, let us know. Hope to see everybody with a small farm by 2020. It's already 2021. 2023. So get your stuff together. Go load your car. Probably put a mat down or something so if you don't want to smell chicken crap for the next 10 years. And other than that, stay fat and bougie.
I got a pony out back in the barn. She's the only one left on the farm. I'm just killing time on this porch of mine, working on my southern charm. Well, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing, a little dip with my shine is on closing time around here. Well, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing, I may talk a little slow, but I know how to grow a big beard. Wine with Will.
Hey everybody, Nick here from Back to the Lodge. Just want to let you know this episode was brought to you by Mossy Oak, Icey-Tek USA, and Higdon Outdoors. Just want to give our sponsors a big thank you to everything that they've done for us. And hey, if you want to catch us live each Wednesday night from 6 to 7, right here on our Facebook page, Back to the Lodge Podcast. You don't want to miss it. So until next time, we'll see you when we head back to the lodge.